Stirring the buttered coffee with chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee. Nice. Ethiopian. Love it. Heavy cream. A little bit of ghee in it. Cold morning. It's wonderful. The difference between naked and naked is if you're naked, it means you have no clothes on. If you're naked, it means you have no clothes on and you're up to something. The difference between naked and naked. God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our consciences, but shouts in our pains. It is God's megaphone to rouse a deaf world. C.S. Lewis. You can never go wrong by watching the movie Shadowlands, a snapshot of the life of C.S. Lewis, one of the finest movies ever made, in my opinion. Anthony Hopkins and Deborah Winger fully bring it in this movie, Shadowlands. I think you would like it. I put her out in a town that was so small you could throw a rock from end to end. A dirt road main street she walked off in bare feet. It's a shame I won't be passing through again. 'Cause like a princess she was laying there, moonlight dancing off her hair. Sammy Johns, 1973. You get what you fear. That is why you are so paranoid. Can I say it again? You get what you fear. That is why you are so paranoid. Traveling in a fried out combi on a hippie trail head full of zombie, I met a strange lady. She made me nervous. She took me in and gave me breakfast. Men at Work, 1981. God has called you to peace. For how do you know, wife, whether you will save your husband? Or how do you know, husband, whether you will save your wife? The answer to those rhetorical questions is you don't know. But God has called you to peace. For the unbelieving husband is made holy because of his wife, and the unbelieving wife is made holy because of her husband. The power of covenant. Covenant in a household. The people under that roof. Made holy. Interesting, isn't it? I took a poll. I said, single Christian people, do you date or would you marry a non-Christian person? Vote yes or no, then answer why. 48% said yes, 52% said no. Interesting, almost half and half. I took a poll and I asked the ladies, did you ever cheat on your partner or spouse? This is 100% confidential, just vote yes or no. 34% of women who responded said yes, they cheated on their partner, boyfriend, spouse, husband. 66% said no. So about 1/3 identified themselves as having cheated. I'm not placing any judgment on anyone. These are just numbers. And this is nothing compared to the messages that I get on a daily basis. People confessing things, getting things off their chest. Why? Because if you can't talk to the Sultan, who can you talk to? I took another poll. I said, who is better, Chris Angel or David Blaine? 78% said David Blaine, 22% said Chris Angel. Interesting. Kind of like the 80-20 thing going on there. Saint Nicholas is greater than Santa Claus. The fill in the blank are not the victims they often claim to be. Put your answer down below. Who is not the victim that they always claim to be? And I know the answers will vary, so that'll be interesting. Put your answer down below and make sure you subscribe, because YouTube keeps unsubscribing people from this channel. I should be at about 250,000, and I'm not. So we're going to try to organically bring that up. Stevie Nicks is now 71. Stevie Nicks is 71. I don't know why. That just blows my mind. Embrace what makes you different. That's a good one for everybody. Rodney Dangerfield says, "Hey Jackie, you look so thin. How did you do it?" Jackie Gleason says, "I just hang around a lot of fat people." Rodney Dangerfield also says, "The problem with me is that I appeal to everyone who can do me absolutely no good." I love his jokes. His one-liners are great, but isn't that the truth with some people? Or you, at certain periods of your life when you were stuck, that you only appealed to people who can do you no good. What a beautiful time to talk about this with 2020 just around the corner, because 2020 is the year that you get unstuck. It's time. It's time, isn't it? Get on up on the floor, because we're going to boogie, oogie, oogie, till you just can't boogie no more. Taste of Honey, 1978. Brian Tracy used to say, "You move in the direction of your most dominant thoughts. If feeling hated, ripped off, cheated, excluded, and discriminated against is your primary way of thinking, then guess what is going to be happening in your life?" One too many times I twisted the gate. When I was crazy, I thought you were great. I kept my renditions of you on the wall, where holiday romance is nothing at all. It's all I can do to keep waiting for you. It's all I can do. It's all I can do. The Cars, 1979. There's 3 levels of want. There's desirous, driven, and desperate. What are you? I like driven. I don't like desperate. Something happens when you go from driven to desperate. Most of you are too young to remember. Get up and change the channel. Children were the original remote control. Here's a good side hustle idea. Go on Craigslist to the for sale section and just scroll through item after item after item. Look for any ad that says, "Wife says it must go." You'll be able to get that item for 1/10 of its worth, and then go back and resell it on Craigslist for 10 times what you sold it for. The psychology is this: he gets points for getting rid of it at any price. Desperation always makes you lose. Driven always makes you win. I took a poll. I said, what do you do best? Do you manage stuff or manage people better? 65% said they manage stuff. 35% said they manage people better. Love, respect, and accountability do go hand in hand. I do believe that. Conditional love has gotten a bad rap, a real bad rap. Is there such a thing as unconditional love? Truly unconditional love. If you love somebody unconditionally, think about this now. I had a good talk about this. If you love somebody unconditionally, doesn't that eliminate their accountability? Because once they know that you'll love them no matter what they do, that can free them up emotionally to do good, or if they have even a little bit of deviance in them, it makes them also think, I can get away with whatever I want, and he or she will still love me. It doesn't matter. That is why I say love goes hand in hand with accountability. The pictures that you took of her are now being used on her Bumble and Tinder. She was posting the pics that I took of her when you met her. You see how this works, bruh? Knowing the human psyche's propensity for self-deception, loving someone unconditionally eliminates their accountability. Once they realize you love them that way, they will believe that they have a permanent pass to act however they want. And you, with all your good intentions and your unconditional love, taught them that. That's why I say that conditional love just always gets such a bad rap. If you got fat together, get fit together. Very rarely in a marriage or relationship does one person just get fat. It's usually both. Hence, if you got fat together, get fit together. What a fantastic plan for 2020. Are you tired of daylight savings time nonsense yet? Like I am, where 6 p.m. feels like 10 p.m. You think, it's time for a cocktail. And then you look at your watch and you see, oh, it's only 5:30. Thank God the days are going to get longer now after the winter solstice. I hope you liked my winter solstice video that I did on Saturday. 25 years ago, as a therapist, was the first time, you heard me say this before, that I looked a client in the eye and I said, 1995 is the year you get unstuck. It's the first time I ever said that. Now I'm looking at you and I'm saying this, 2020 is the year that you get unstuck. How will you do that? I can help you with that. And we're going to do that in 2020. And with that, finish your coffee and I'll see you tomorrow on the Daybreak Show, the home of sanity, clarity, and reason.